All right, so this is 10 minutes with Anthony. My name is Jen Cherney.
Anthony Iliopoulos.
All right.
I think that's how you say that.
Um, you probably know the best. Okay, so what kind of subject we're going to talk about today?
A few things. We'll get to who I'm going to punch in the face later, but it's if anybody knows me, they know it's a no-brainer. But yeah, we're here at Higgs Beach. We're across from Higgs Beach, where you like to play Top Gun volleyball. And speaking of Top Gun, I saw there's going to be the sequel coming out. There's been like a teaser trailer.
I watched the trailer too. Yeah.
Kind of strange because that Top Gun was my senior movie. The way they used to do it when I was in high school was your senior year. That last week before graduation, they have like a breakfast. You go to school, you report for homeroom. They have an activity and you go home. Go to the beach or whatever you do. And one of the days was they had a movie, and at that time, it's 1986, the year I graduated. Top Gun was our movie, and I remember there was one guy in the class. The last name was Gulick, and we used to call him Gulag for the Russian prison thing. But
what was he, skinny?
No, he was just a weird dude, man. We used to call him Gulag, head like a scalawag. But he was like transfixed, man, after the movie, and he was like, man, I'm doing it. I'm going right down to the recruiting office right now. I'm going to join the Air Force, even though Top Gun was the Navy. And we kind of tried to explain to him, you got to be an officer before they let you fly the planes. You can't just be some dude. Yeah, what do you want to do? Cook? No. I want to fly planes. Oh, sure, go ahead. Here's the keys. Go ahead. But anyway, I don't know whatever happened to Gulag, head like a scalawag. I wonder if he ever flew planes or whatever. But the thing is, anyway, I was a senior in high school when that came out. So Maverick was already in the military, had been there for a while. How many years this dude got in, man? Like 40 years, Don't you retire after a certain amount of years,
Yeah, he's good. For me, it was Terminator. New Terminators coming up as well. So first year in the college was Terminator 2, still on the VHS tapes. We were watching it with a really bad voiceover, from this one chick dude that did voiceover for the whole movie, just in the same voice for everybody.
That movie sold a ton of Harley Davidson Fat Boys. Remember, that was back when they started discovering how these companies could almost pay for a movie by product placement.
Is your a Fat Boy?
No, I have a Road King police model, but the Fat Boy was of the Softail models. I always liked Fat Boys. I like to have one, but I tell you, man, I've had that motorcycle for 14 years now, but lately, man, I've been looking at this Indian vintage, and I think I might, I don't know if I would sell my motorcycle, trade my motorcycle, but I think I might make that switch over to the Indian,
Yeah, the new one looks really, really cool. I like it.
So it's just the vintage one, with that red and the saddlebags, and it just, they've tried to do, different Indian went out of business in 1958, and a few different outfits tried to use the name to no avail. I remember one they had like in their late 90s, early 2000s was putting like in one of those SS motors in there and just kind of almost like making a mock-up. But this is actually Polaris, who makes the Victory and has made a lot of pretty solid company. They make this, and this is one heck of a motorcycle. Not that I'm doing a commercial for them, but
you should have bought a new one, because it would be a nice addition to the ending of our movie.
I don't think I would buy not a new one. Might be a little bit, but maybe like a 2014, especially motorcycles. Got a lot of guys, they buy these motorcycles and they put $5,000 worth of accessories on them. I rather let somebody else do that, and they put all the accessories and stuff, and then they're they ride it around the block like 3 times in 5 years, and they get rid of their midlife crisis, and they go back to playing golf or whatever the hell middle-aged white guys do, and then I'll come in and buy it from them for a lot less, and he's already done all the accessories. Oh yeah, it's got super pipes. It's got, the thing that massages your nuts when you drive. Great, I'll take it. All those things. But the backrest, they got a lot of these old guys. They have that the backrest. Not for just the passenger, but for them too. Come on.
And then cruise control, it's kind of like a car, really.
That Indian has cruise control. That's just what you need, is to be more relaxed, on some road like that. Your cruise control where you just fall asleep. The whole point of driving stuff like that is you got to stay alert. That's my old thing about why so many people wreck cars now. And I mean, cars are safer than ever, but in the old days when you had to drive stick shift, you had to focus. One hand had to be here, the other hand had to be here. You're driving, okay, what gear am I in now? That's like you're sitting in your living room, sit back, movie on, text message on. Next thing you know, you don't see the guy walking across the street. But
yeah, I get sleepy real easily, even on a motorcycle. So the more miserable the experience is, the better, because I stay awake.
You need to be operating. You're operating a dangerous piece of machinery. It's not like, if you're like operating some crane or something over a building, it's not like, hey, sit back in this seat and let me massage your feet and everything while you drop these, 10-ton boulders over people. No, man, you got to feel like you're working, like you're doing something.
So stay alert when riding motorcycle.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I kind of made a business decision. Anybody who's followed my prep knows that I was planning on competing the Florida State and then the North America afterwards. So this Saturday it would have been 4 and 6, 4 weeks to the Florida State, 6 weeks to the North America. I just, this North America, even though I'm, very big of people competing in their state type thing, this North America is a real big deal to me, and I really want to focus on just the North America. So I decided I'm not going to do the Florida State, and the reason is, to get ready for you don't just walk up and get ready for a contest. I mean, there's going to be some kind of water manipulation. There's going to be some kind of eating food you normally wouldn't do. Maybe you take some salt out and you add some jelly and rice cakes or donuts or, whatever, stuff like that.
Stuff we like.
Stuff that you wouldn't be doing if you were 2 weeks out of a contest. So in my mind, I'm worried that trying to do well in the Florida State, it might affect me less than 2 weeks later in the North America. Yeah. And the alternative would be to mail in the Florida State and just show up normally like you would. But I'm not the kind of guy to do that. If my name is out there and I'm doing something, I don't want it to be like, boy, he sucked 2 weeks ago at the Florida State, but he looks great in the North America. I just rather not do it and just take the time to relax. I have the time off from work. I'll probably go to Orlando anyway, see my kids, my grandkid. I'm sure he'll run the other way when he sees me, but we'll try to get that relationship together.
So what is, how much time do you need actually between the competitions in order to come to both of them, in a good shape?
I think if you were doing, I don't think there's any problem. I think 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks is kind of a better thing. I mean, twice in my career, I did back to back to back. I did 3 in a row. And I mean, I don't think I would, I think I got worse.
3 in a, what kind of row we're talking about?
3 weeks in a row. One time I did...
Week apart then?
Yeah, I think in 2010 I did the Dexter Jackson, which I did really well in. And then I came back the next week and did a Gainesville show, which I never really would have done if I knew I was going to do so well in the Dexter Jackson. And then I came back the week 3 and did the Florida State. Yeah, so and then back in 2005, I think I did some lower level contests. I don't remember. One was the Mid Florida, I think was the last one. I think there used to be a show. It might still be that there was a Tampa show used to be. It was in between there, and then the first one was like in Bradenton or somewhere almost down by Sarasota. Did 3 in a row there, but I think maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but to me, North America is something. I mean, if it was like a regular Florida show and then the Florida State, or the Florida State and a regular show 2 weeks after, that's one thing. But the North America is something. It's a big deal, man. And I just want all my focus to be on that. I have my plane tickets already. I have my room. I have my rental car. Tanning's booked. I'm entered in the contest. So all I have to do is just focus on my training, my diet, not kill anybody, not get arrested for anything.
Which is sometimes hard living here in Key West.
Yes. There's many people that probably could deserve a punch or two. So that's the deal. And then I also had to make a decision. Of course, I have a guy in California, and we discussed. He thought that I was having, that I still had maybe a good 5 to 7 pounds of fat and not water that were like kind of around my hips and glutes and hamstrings and stuff. And so, to do that, you got to make a decision. Do you like your look now and just keep tightening up your look, or do you want to do something real extreme to try to tap into that fat reserve? A gamble, because you're going to look like shit, absolute shit during that time, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that guy's sick. What's wrong? What's he doing?" With the hope that you can bring yourself back to life the last week. So not having to do the Florida State gives us a little bit more time. And right now I can't, you saw the latest pictures. My midsection kind of trimmed up a lot from just in a few days. So I think I'm responding to the diet and the training. So we can kind of hold off on killing ourselves right now. And I guess there's a storm moving in.
Yeah, storm, but so far so good. I think we'll finish our little rant. Who would you like to punch in the face?
Yeah, so that's the deal with that. I'm giving it all my North America. Just try to keep grinding, keep tightening up, keep making progress. But this is a no-brainer. This week is Hemingway days this weekend. So the island is inundated with fat white guys with white beards that are trying to emulate or look like Ernest Hemingway in his later years. And where do I even begin with this, man? I mean, it's like, dude, if you came down here and what do you and your wife are, hey, honey, I think you can win. I think you can win this thing. I mean, you came down here to try to look like somebody else. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? I mean, that's just like these guys that they get all dressed up like Confederate soldiers and Union soldiers, and they go out and reenact battles, I mean, like, you didn't get enough Halloween crap when you were a kid. You got these men, oh, look at my musket or whatever the hell. Let's reenact Bunker Hill. But that's the same thing. So they got parts of Duval Street closed yesterday. I'm trying to make deliveries, and there's just a whole mob of these fat white guys with beards, trying to dress like Hemingway. And I mean, I just want to say, you just group of assholes. I mean, I'll never stop punching you in the face. And that's not even a unique look. It's not like it's,
Say it's an old man's look, kind of.
I mean, to me, that looks like, there's a lot of guys that look like that, not, just by accident. They don't have to look like that. And it looks no different than that dude that used to be on Quinn Martin production, Cannon, that guy that used to be in the wheelchair solving crimes, Burl Ives, Orson Welles, when he got really fat and got a beard, and even though he made the greatest movie of all time, he's saying, during the commercial, we'll sell no wine until it's time. All those guys were the same. They're fat white guys with white beards. You all look like Hemingway. Great. Well, but what an awful thing. I mean, this is the start of the season of these just awful things that come down here. Next will be these lobster, and I know this is sacrilege because the island needs the money and all that shit.
Nah, I hate mini season. They catch all the lobsters, and there's nothing left for us.
And they got this next group of these lobster people that come down here. Woo! There's a a guy I have on Facebook that I went to school with. You know, he loads his truck up, and we go down there every year, man. And he thinks like people, you know, we go to the same inn and everything. He actually thinks people actually, you know, down here really like him. You know, they're just happy that he's giving them money. They, you know, can't wait for him to leave. You know, like everybody else that comes down here for that mini lobster season. That, you know, and they're all just these lobster people. You know, just all over the place climbing around. I mean, I don't have enough slaps left in my elbow to slap enough of these people on the side of the head, but what awful people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just get a lobster permit and come here any other time of the year and get some lobsters. What's the big deal about the freaking getting all those poor little bastards like in 2 days or whatever?
When I snorkel, I see lobster all the time, but I guess it's they let them do before the commercial guys can put their traps out and stuff. Is that
after mini season you won't see them.
But the thing is, you know, they have to be a certain limit and everything. And a lot of these people, you know, the overtime they have to work because these people are pulling so many that are below the limit and stuff. And they, you know, they catch so many people and shit doing that all the time. These guys come down, you know, these people will come down. I hate to bag on these people come down from Miami and stuff, but they'll be like, they'll pull them over and they'll find like a lemon shark in their, you know, like a rare lemon shark in the back of their truck and stuff, you know. What the hell are you people doing, man? You know?
Yeah, it's exploiting resources, you know. That's what I think.
Well, I think that's it. I think the weather's pushing us out. Of course, I rode my motorcycle for the first time all week today and didn't take the car, and here's what we got. So
yeah.
We'll see you next week.